How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Skill-Based Minicast, a mini-series spin-off of the NoSkill podcast where we hard focus on certain topics. I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Brandon.
What's up?
Today, we're going to be focusing on Call of Duty, more specifically, the World Series of Warzone and the CDL as it stands today. Let's start off with Warzone. Brandon, did you happen to watch the World Series of Warzone?
I saw segments. I saw the a big highlight of it. It was that Nate Shot's team came in last, and this is
Very.
surprising to me. But of course, there was the fact that he himself only played at least 2 nights before the tournament, and he just so happened to have the unfortunate luck of getting sick the day of the tournament.
Very sick. I was watching his stream when he was playing, and he did not look 100%. He did not look 100%. But it was fun to actually watch Nade actually play Call of Duty. I don't really get to tune into his streams too much, and he was playing with Kenny and Slasher. That was surprising to me because, I did not know that they were Warzone players.
Oh no, a lot of CDL teams put some players into a tournament, like for say, Scump. He was in. Who was he with? Who was like Karma in general?
Karma and Formal.
Formal, yeah, Formal was in there as well. I did not see their placings. I know that I think they did pretty well. All things considering that they don't play a lot of hard Warzone compared to the competitors. Which Speaking of which, another highlight that I saw that I thought was a little funny little segment is that Tim the Tatman ended up killing himself with his own Bertha.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
hilarious.
That is one of the biggest reasons as to why I still to this day love watching Tim the Tap Man, just because he has some of the worst luck when it comes to Warzone. From not pulling his chute and dying to fall damage, falling off of buildings on accident, blowing himself up with his own grenade, flashing and stunning himself several times. But when I saw getting hit by your own Bertha, I felt that internally because I've done that to myself, but with a Jeep.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it seemed that who was it like Rated and Adrian. I forget the third person was. Do you happen to know?
Do you mean Aiden?
Aiden, yes, sorry. Aiden Rated and the third teammate whose name escapes me.
I'll think of
Um,
it in a second because I was watching Aiden stream too, but I can't think of it either off the top of my head.
yeah, but they came home with the big dub and came first out of all those teams of highly skilled players, highly skilled streamers, pros, and they came out on top. Which, if I'm gonna be fair, I'm gonna be real. That team, whoa man, it was a stacked team. Some of the best Warzone players all in one team. It was crazy.
I had I had my money on Aiden winning, but by a close margin, if it wasn't Aiden's team, I was set on Swag and whoever he was playing with. It was going to be with his Nukes boys, but I was like, it's either going to be Aiden's team or Swag's team. Swag's team did very well. Those guys are insane when it comes to Warzone. I can't even fathom how they do half the things that they do.
Yeah, I mean, I also was pulling for Z Laner. He,
Did you see his Doctor Disrespect thing?
yes, that was amazing. And I just love how Twitch couldn't do anything about it. You just kind of had to just roll with it.
Dude, Mr. Purple Platform, you may have banned the man, but he ain't gone. You see people playing his music in their backgrounds. People RPing him in the No Pixel server for GTA RP. Just Z Laner dressing up as him. That was incredible because at that point it was also confirmed that because this tournament could only be streamed on Twitch, Z Laner went to Twitch and he announced that he will never, ever, ever take a Twitch contract because he holds Doc in such a high regard that he wants to honor his teammate than settle for what Twitch can pay him. That's a bro.
Yeah, definitely taking a, I would say a big financial hit for loyalty, and I respect that. I would say the best next thing for him would to probably get a deal from YouTube, but we'll see where life takes him. He is a very good streamer, very good Warzone player. He plays with Doctor Disrespect all the time, and them as a duo is great.
Yeah, that man's cracked. But I do believe he's. I haven't checked up on it recently, but I still think he has a contract with Facebook that's due to end soon. So, like, YouTube, pay attention to that man. He's got the fan base, he's got the following, he's got the team, he's got the skill, he's got the know-how, he's got what you need if you want to keep people on your platform. That man is insane. I just don't know who he was playing. Oh wait, wasn't it him and Huskers?
I wanna say it was Huskers. I don't know all the teams. I only tuned into it like every once in a while for like certain streamers that I personally watch, which would be Tim, Nade, and Scump at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm just.
I'm drawing a blank.
I think it might have been him Huskers, and then one other person. Because I know when I tuned in to Symphony stream, I know him and Symphony play a lot. I don't know what it was if Symphony had that thing turned on, but his two teammates, they were just user insert numbers here.
Yeah, that would be streamer mode. Yeah, that just hides their name.
So I'm like, dude, you're already in a private lobby with a bunch of other big, well-known Warzone streamers. Why not just show their name?
Yeah. Well, it might have been just out of force of habit, because they
Very
always
true.
get stream sniped and all that. You just kind of gotta use it, even though most of the time it doesn't help or work. It's just something that they just always keep on. Hell,
Well,
you see it in multiplayer lobbies even with people that aren't even streaming. They just use it.
well, look, can I just say, Symphony? He's just an absolute gem and a dream of just pure unadulterated content. I don't know why, but it finally popped up in my feed where him, Smitty, Marcel basically had to work and encourage. They had to make each other's classes, and then him just going ham with a Strela and a riot shield. After at first hating the class itself, he's just like, I'm really good with this class. Trust me, bud. I'm a rocket launcher user regularly. I'll take the hit for that. You got a hit scanner right there. But his knee jerk reaction to getting told that he was using a riot shield Estrella was incredible, because then he forced Marcel to use a riot shield and dual magnums just to stick it to him.
Yeah, it was a great video, as well as just Symphony being the correct man as he is, and always going for those weird wall bangs or just shots out of random. He flicks so damn hard. People always trying to make the case that he is cheating when we all know he is not. He is just that cracked or that fucking lucky to get any kind of hit markers through some random door or wall that he just decides to shoot out of nowhere.
Dude, I still when I first saw Symphony, I thought I was hell bent on thinking that this kid is cheating. There's no way this kid is not. Some of these flicks are insane. He can 180 and snap to somebody's head before I have the chance to blink. The kid is good. The kid is good. And do we know? I know. I think I've asked this question before, but this was like off recording. Is he actually signed to 100 Thieves, or does he just live there?
Um,
Because I know his girlfriend Brooke. I know she's a part of 100 Thieves.
I honestly don't think he is signed. I just think he's living in the house. His girlfriend is signed to it, and which we all know is Brooke. But other than that, I do not think he is actually signed to them. It would be no surprise if he did end up signing to them at this point, but no, I don't think he is.
Do it. The kid's insane. Sign him. Sign him before Energy picks him up.
So was there any other big highlights from the World Series? Because I cannot think of any that come to mind other than just those really clutch plays that some of the players were able to pull off?
The peak to me was Timmy getting run over by his own Bertha. But smooth transition, smooth segue. Speaking of LA Thieves, man, LA Thieves.
Let me guess.
It's
They had another roster change, didn't they?
a big one, a big one, a big one, a big one. One that I didn't expect, and a substitution that I didn't expect either. Um, so they sent TJ to Challenger Division to play for Wester. Granted, he's going to be playing with Saints, so he's going to be good. Saints is an OG. But then they brought up some guy named John. I've never heard of John at all. I might be I might be stupid for saying this, but I don't know who he is. The rest of the COD community slander me in the comment section. But I've never heard of this John guy. So John is being brought up to replace TJ. So from what it's sounding like is it's going to be John, Kenny, Slasher, and Hook. And that's if they have everything figured out with Hook. Because if they don't have their stuff figured out with Hook, they have to drop Hook again and replace him with either Venom or Draza.
Yeah, the last major where they had to drop Hook all because he misspelled his own name and they wouldn't let him in because, this whole pandemic thing, they're still trying to keep it safe. So he spelled his own name wrong. He couldn't go in. They had to substitute him.
Like, I understand typos and mistakes, but come on, dude. For something like this, you didn't proofread? Like
Something as big as a major, I would at least try to make sure that I have everything down to a T. If I dot my I's, everything, just to make sure that nothing happens to where I have to sit it out and let my team down again.
trust me, I'm making sure the letters smell good. And I know it's typing, but I want them to smell pretty when the recipient receives them. But yeah, I'm so sick and tired of the roster changes. It seemed like after every single loss, whether it be in their stages or their majors, they had switched somebody out. Like, I get it, you're trying to find that right mix, that right vibe for players, but you're not helping yourself if you're bringing on these new guys and they've never played with Kenny or Slasher before. So now you're giving them like a week's time to get used to the way these guys play. And I know a week doesn't seem might seem like it's if you play several games a day, you should get used to somebody's play style. No, it takes a long time to get used to play how somebody plays, especially if you're only going to be an SMG or an AR, even if you're good with both.
Yeah,
So it's just kind of intimidating.
yeah, I feel that, and this has also been touched by the casters and everyone else. This is gonna have to be their last roster change. They can't do any more because next is champs, and they cannot make any mistakes. They have to go with whoever they're going with, and it's going to be final because any more would just ruin any type of flow the team have built through scrims and practice or anything.
Yeah, like the stages that we're going through, these are the stages leading up to champs. And come champs, one of the things that I will address later on, here in a bit when I'm done with this, with champs this year, it's not all 12 teams. It's only 8.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these stages to rack up as many points for your team as possible just to make it to the LAN event, just to make it to champs. So if they don't bust their asses right now, like the time is now. Rack up these points, get some dubs, win, 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 or you won't even see that big stage. You're not going to see it.
Yo, speaking of winning, Dallas came through with this major hella strong. It's something just out of nowhere from a bad performance from the last, I would say, a few tourneys. They weren't looking that strong, but they came into this major like a freaking whirlwind. 3-0ing Optic first game, continuing on just to beat Optic again. What was it, like 3-1?
Yeah, 3-1 and losers.
Yeah, 3-1 in losers. I don't remember who took them down to losers, but
Dallas put Optic in losers, then beat them in losers because
yeah.
Optic lost. I'm sorry, Dallas lost to I believe they lost to Toronto.
But they won against Toronto, if that's the case. Right after their victory against Optic, they went on for, what was it, like 7 hours of
Mm-hmm.
just straight game time. And that last game against FaZe, that was something I was not expecting. How well they did against them was astounding. It was, what was it, like game 5?
Game 5, round 10, because they beat them 6-4.
Yeah, that was an insane series. That hope that they bring that same energy to champs, because this is it. And I
Dude,
know that that teams like Optic, they got a chip on their shoulder, especially certain Scump, who has been performing very strongly, but just can't seem to get that win.
yeah, and it's affected him to where he made his post on social media on Twitter. He took to Twitter saying like he wants the win so badly, and then when he doesn't get it, it's already hurtful to himself because now he feels like he as a performer didn't do well enough. He as a team member didn't do well enough, let alone the rest of his team if they did well enough. But now he has the audience throwing so much unneeded hate towards him because his team didn't win. Like all of a sudden you see in the chat, oh, flop dick, or hey Hex, it's Skunk. Can we go back to online? Land isn't working either. Leave the man alone. All right, he's busting his ass to do he's doing what he can to win. And everybody in this CDL, they are all damn good players. They're all damn good players. Every team has the potential to win, but it's just a matter of, do you want it that badly? We know for a fact Scump wants it badly. Scump wants it badly, but I will. You know what? I'll say it. Formal didn't do the best.
Heck,
Formal did.
heck, yeah, I would even say that Envoy had his moments of just straight savagery towards, I would say, the last game or two in their series against the second loss against Dallas. But I think that him turning up was at a little too late. They already were, I would say, 2 losses. They only had 1 win, and the fact that he came on just that late into it was really bad for them. I feel that if he were to just turn that switch on just a little earlier, he could have maybe made something happen. Because Scump and Dashy, although Dashy, I believe in the standoff search and destroy, didn't perform that well, or his either standoff or express, one of those searches, he didn't perform that well. But at least in everything else, Dashy was looking really strong. He pulled his weight. Scump was slaying and performing very well throughout the entire series. I just feel that Formal just kind of fell off. Only made a couple good plays here and there, but other than that, he didn't really do that well. I think he had 1 ace on the express search. He got an
Yeah,
ace, but that was only one
yeah, it was
little.
the express search where he went 0-4. So it's like, okay, you literally went 4 rounds without getting a kill, and then in one fell swoop you tag an ace, which now balanced you out to a single 1.0 KD. That's great, but you're still now down 3 rounds. It's time to step it up. You should have stepped it up beforehand, but now if you want any chance of coming back, it has to be right now. And with Envoy's a flank master. This kid knows how to appear out of nowhere, and it frustrates me when I'm watching. Because like all of a sudden I'm spectating somebody on the enemy team, and then they just get gunned down by Envoy, and I'm like, where did he come from? At this point now, if you're facing against Optic, if you're looking north, you might want to watch your south too, because there's going to be a certain kid coming up behind you at some point, ready to shoot you in your spine, and you won't even know that he's there. Envoy's dangerous when he wants to be.
Yes, Envoy is very well known for it to be a great flanker, and that's why I feel that a lot of teams now, this late into the CDL, are whenever they go against Optic, there's always someone like another flanker that is watching their flank before this one guy because they don't want him coming up behind them. And I think it was Illy who was always like on that flank watch or doing a flank, a very long flank or something like that, that always come up behind them out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
and it would just catch them off guard.
Yeah, especially in a game like Search and Destroy, you cannot run the risk of having somebody on your team go down and then you're not there for the instant trade. Because if you allow Envoy to sneak up behind you, get a kill, and then escape with his life, okay, not only did he leave, he's going to regain his health, he's going to reload, and now you're down one man. Because you didn't have somebody to pick up the trade. That's how you keep everything even, is if you can actually pick up a trade. Because now it's like, okay, you got me, but you got my homie, but I got you. All right, it's 3-3 now. Well, what are we doing? In respawn games, even though you still need to tighten up, still go for your trades in the respawn games, especially in like what is it, Control,
Yep.
where you have a certain amount of lives.
Yeah, that's Control.
Because for the longest time I never understood how Control worked. I was like, okay, so they only have 30 lives. Why don't they just play it like TDM? Why capture the points? Oh, that's the point, to increase the time. Ah, okay.
Yep. Capture 1, you increase the time. Capture 2, you end the game without any lives like going to 0. You just go to the next round.
Jesus Christ, I can barely function playing hardpoint. I crumble.
I mean, I've had good times on Control on like previous games whenever it was implemented, but I honestly am not the biggest fan of it. I can see how it works for a competitive standpoint, but me personally, when I'm playing just casuals, I'll go with the DOMs, I'll go with the hard points, but I think that's the gist of objective for me. Other than that, kill confirm to TDM if I'm feeling it.
See, I'm too much of an OBJ player. If we're playing like hardpoint or domination or anything where something has to be captured, I will forego getting kills just because my mindset is there's a job to do. I need to go do it right now. But by the way, random side tangent. Did you happen to see Clay tweet out something alluding to he might consider retiring?
I did see that, and honestly, at this point in time, I can also see that happening, but honestly, I think with Clay, he is too much of a competitor, and I think he still has that fire in him that I don't think he'll do it just yet. I would say give it another year or two, and maybe we'll see. I would say the same thing for Scump. He's even considered this many times before, and with his mental health, I bet he's considering it even more nowadays.
Oh yeah.
But well, I guess we'll just have to see. Clay,
Dude,
he is one of the best earning or most earning players, and he also has some of the most rings ever earned. But like, yeah, I can see it happening. It would be a sad day, but yeah.
Your kid's a legend.
Yeah, we would be losing a legend in the series and CDL. Same with Scump. If he ever goes, man, we lost a king. We lost a king.
Especially with New York, I did feel bad for them because Asim having passport issues and they had to stay in Canada. They had to pick up some kid from Challengers. What's his name?
Decimate. Yep.
Never played with. Well, he was the only person because they did say there is a chance that he could play, but in case he can't, we're willing to give you a contract to play with us. You've never played with us before, at all. But come up and play this LAN event with us. Didn't do too badly, but now because Asim missed out, I'm expecting New York to be on fire for these upcoming stages. We need all the teams to be on fire because, like I said, this champs, you're only getting 8 teams. And this is the meat and potatoes that I wanted to talk about. You had a lot of people split down the middle. Like you had people like Krim and Octane saying, "Hey, this is bullshit. Why only have 8 teams out of the 12? It should be all of us. Let us all go. Let us all go to champs. Come on, let us all go." Then you had somebody like Clayster making tweets saying, if you can't be better than 33% of the league, then that's on you. So Clayster is obviously in agreement with, hey, we're CDL, we're in shambles right now. But I agree with only 8 teams instead of 12. Even Midnight, who isn't a pro player, she's a She's a content. She's the head of content creation for Minnesota Rocker. She said, hot take, but I think this is a good thing. Somebody started like posting a bunch of pictures of all the teams from way back in the day, saying like, "See, it's always been this way." Where they showed like a tier list of all the teams that were competing, and then the same teams minus a few when it came to champs. Difference. COD then, you had what 20 plus teams from like Face, Optic, Denial, Parasite, Evil Geniuses, Straight, E United. You had several teams.
My God, like
To where
Luminosity and all that. Oh my God, there was so many. There's so
Luminosity,
many
Optic
teams.
Gaming, Optic Nation, Phase Red, Phase Black,
C9, fucking
TK, Cure.
yeah, like TK.
You had like 20 plus teams to where you can actually sacrifice that.
Yeah.
Because you still have a lot of teams to work with. With this, you only have 12. And you're telling 4 of them to fuck off. You could run 8 teams in a day. If you started early enough, we could have 8 teams play in one day. And we could drop that 8 to 4. And then you can finish out champs the next day.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna maybe go for that all games in one day type of thing, but we'll see.
Because I am on the side of Cram and Octane, where it's like you have all 12 teams play, but then there's still that current standing stigma of like some of these teams aren't as good as others. Like you have everybody when you think CDL, your mind goes to Toronto, FaZe, Optic, because those are the three that dominate. Then below them, you got New York and Dallas, whom are damn good. Now that they're getting their foot in the ground, dude. Ever since Hydra came to New York, something happened. Something happened to New York. Same with Vivid with Dallas. Something happened. They all of a sudden just went on a tear.
Yeah,
And then
but the stay in CDL, especially it comes down also to like the game, because depending on the game, it could also affect players in just if they just do not enjoy it, if they do, sure, great, but in terms of CDL as it stands right now, I do agree that all 12 teams should be going to World Champs. It would be a lot more entertaining. It would have a great story arc in certain areas, and I feel that it would just be all around better.
like, dude, I wish we had. I'll say it. I wish we had more teams. Like I wish there were more teams instead of just these 12. I think it would make the pro circuit a lot more interesting. Because now you're bringing in fresh blood. You're bringing in new talent. But until then, I just hope that these next few stages leading up to the major, I think it starts tomorrow. It might be the next day. I'm expecting everybody from FaZe Clan to Royal Ravens. I'm expecting everybody to be on their A game.
This is the last chance. This is the last one.
The last chance. This is where you're playing for the marbles. Literally, this is where points count. So that's all. That's all I got to. That's all I got to say on that. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, I'm just looking forward to some great games, and I hope to see some incredible games coming out of the top teams. I hope that that these lower teams on the bracket really step up their game, because at this point they gotta really fight for one of those spots going into World Champs.
My money's still on FaZe Clan though. That's the last thing I'm gonna say.
At this point, yeah, they're running a tear.
Oh yeah, and they're only getting better and better every day. All right. Again, Brandon, anything last bit that you want to say?
No. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini cast. This is our first episode. We are planning on doing it a little more often. It's not going to be as maybe consistent as the NoSkill podcast, but we are definitely going to be coming at you with all kinds of content on this little mini cast, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
We'll see you in the next one.